Welcome to another episode of Thyroid-Healthy Bites, a weekly podcast featuring thyroid-healthy recipes and lifestyle. I'm Ginny Mahar, your host and the face behind the apron at hypothyroidchef.com. Today we're going to be making one of our favorite family-friendly meals, Deluxe burger salad with bacon, caramelized onions, and special sauce. It's gluten-free, dairy-free, paleo, and because we all want fries with our burger, we're also going to be making some crispy sweet potato rounds to go along with it. Let's get cooking. Okay, first let's get started on the crispy sweet potato rounds. You're going to need a couple sweet potatoes, some pepper, some fine sea salt, a few tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and a sheet pan. So preheat your oven to 425 and we'll get these ready. So whether or not to peel your sweet potatoes is up to you. I know my kiddo prefers them peeled, but the peel does have a lot of fiber in it, which is good for us as thyroid patients. And really overall, sweet potatoes are just full of nutrition. They're loaded with complex carbohydrates. They help us stabilize our blood sugar. They've got prebiotic fiber that feeds the good bacteria in our gut. They're just amazing, full of vitamins, nutrient dense, and a great addition to your Thyroid-healthy menu. So after you peel them, if you choose to, you're going to want to slice them into rounds. Sweet potatoes are also considered paleo, which is nice because they're kind of a starchy carb. They fill us up. Again, they've got all that amazing fiber. There's over 6 grams of fiber per cup of sweet potatoes. So pretty amazing stuff. One thing to keep in mind is that they do have quite a bit of sugar. There's about 13 grams of sugar in 1 cup of sweet potatoes. So one of those things you maybe don't want to overdo it on, especially if you're on a lower carb diet or if you're prone to things like candida overgrowth. Now feel free to use what you have on hand. I'm using extra virgin olive oil. You could also use avocado oil, coconut oil, macadamia oil, and also for seasoning, feel free to get creative. Sometimes I might put cinnamon on them. If I want to go sweeter, maybe I'll even do a little pumpkin pie spice, chili powder, but for today we're just going to keep it simple and we're going to do salt. This is fine sea salt, Celtic salt, and freshly ground pepper. After we get these brushed on one side, we're just going to flip them over. And this isn't an exact science here. You can just toss them in a bowl with your favorite oil and seasonings if you like, but just be sure to go pretty generous on the oil. That's part of the key of getting oven fries and things like that really crispy. So don't be too shy with the oil. And for anyone wondering, I know we talk a lot about healthy fats and oils, and there is a lot of information out there that discourages people from using extra virgin olive oil for high heat cooking. And if you follow Paleo Mom, she does all these deep dives into ingredients, and she looked really deeply at, do we really need to not use olive oil for high heat cooking? The fear being that it oxidizes and creates free radicals. And what she found was that the fears about that were sort of overblown, that the amount of oxidation that happens in olive oil is lower than we previously thought, and that olive oil is actually pretty stable. So I like the flavor of it. I love the healthy fats. But if you're not comfortable, you can certainly use any other kind of healthy cooking oil or fat. You can even use things like duck fat or lard, but I do feel like for maximum crispiness, oil seems to work a little bit better than some of those solid fats. So good amount of salt and pepper, we're ready to go in the oven. Now that we've got those in the oven for 25 minutes, we're gonna make our special sauce. We're gonna need some mayonnaise, some Dijon mustard. You can use chopped pickles. I'm using this Bubby's kosher dill relish. I like Bubby's because it's lacto fermented and contains probiotic cultures. So honestly, they were just out of the big pickles at the store, so I decided to try this kosher dill relish. But usually I just chop pickles too, so that works fine. I'm gonna put a little bit of this Frank's Louisiana hot sauce in it, and this is optional, but I've got a little bit of this Annie's gluten-free barbecue sauce, and that little bit of smokiness just adds a really nice flavor with the sweet potato rounds. It goes great on the burgers. So this is gonna be our fry sauce and our burger salad sauce. Also, for any of you out there who have an egg sensitivity, I really like this Follow Your Heart soy-free veganese. Soy-free is important for us thyroid patients. You can also make your own mayonnaise. You can get one of the clean paleo brands, but this has a pretty clean ingredient list, and it works really well for my son and I who both have an egg sensitivity. So sometimes those paleo mayonnaises that contain a lot of egg don't work for us. So I've got about a half cup of mayonnaise here. We'll do about a teaspoon of hot sauce, about a tablespoon of barbecue sauce, a couple tablespoons of Dijon mustard, and a couple tablespoons of this kosher dill relish, or chopped kosher dill pickles. Give that a good stir. Don't forget to taste. Okay, let's make our burgers. I've got a couple pounds of grass-finished ground beef, 1 small shallot, couple cloves of garlic, some Dijon mustard again. I've got some paleo ketchup here from Primal Kitchen. This is really good. All this seasoning of the burgers is optional, but this is what I like to use. Liam Perrin's Worcestershire sauce. This is gluten-free, and then we're gonna, of course, put a little bit of finely ground sea salt and freshly cracked pepper. That to our ground beef. Got a couple tablespoons of finely minced shallot and about a tablespoon of minced garlic. We'll add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of ketchup. And again, that's optional if you don't do nightshades. And we'll do a couple tablespoons of Dijon mustard, about a tablespoon of Worcestershire, and about a teaspoon of sea salt, finely ground, and about half a teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. Next, we're going to mix that with our clean hands, just until everything's evenly distributed. You want to try not to overmix your burgers. The texture will be better if you just mix it as much as you need to get everything evenly distributed. Next, we're going to take a racquetball size mound and form it into patties. Making them a little bit thinner in the middle can help with them shrinking up and turning into like a hockey puck when they're cooking. Okay, our timer just went off. Let's check on our sweet potatoes. Oh, these are looking great. We're just gonna give these a quick flip. Ooh, look how nice and brown they're getting. That hot sheet pan really helps caramelize the natural sugars in the sweet potatoes. So they're nice and crispy. All right, let's get these back in the oven for about 20 more minutes, maybe 25. We'll keep an eye on them. I'm gonna turn the light on in the oven so I don't forget about them. Okay, next we're gonna fry up some bacon. I really like this Applegate Organics uncured organic Sunday bacon. really nice and thin so you get these really good crispy slices for your burgers. While that's frying up, we're gonna slice up our sweet onion to make caramelized onions. I like to cut my onions into crescent moon shapes for caramelized onions. So first I cut the top and the bottom off, I peel off the papery skin, and then I cut that onion in half. And I lay the half on the cutting board and I cut sort of with the grain. So basically we're going from the root end to the stem end of the onion, sort of up and down. So we're making vertical cuts, not horizontal. Sounds like it's sizzle time. Can't forget about our bacon. Looks like it's just about done. We're gonna flip it and put it on some paper towels and we'll set that to the side. I'm gonna take the bacon drippings in this skillet and pour off about all but 2 tablespoons of them. And then we're gonna use this nice brown skillet to caramelize our onions. So keep your skillet over medium-high heat, add a hefty pinch of sea salt, some freshly cracked pepper, and give them a good stir. Now the bottom of our skillet is looking a little bit brown. All that color equals flavor. That brown stuff on the bottom of your skillet is what's called fond. And we're going to add a little bit of water to help scrape up that fond and give all that good brown flavor to our onions. Now I would also add a bit of balsamic vinegar here. I forgot to do it in the video, but normally I add just a little splash of balsamic vinegar for a little acidity and because the sugars in the balsamic vinegar help to caramelize the onions. These have been cooking for a while now and you can see they're starting to get some really nice golden brown color on them and all that water has evaporated. So don't worry, adding a little bit of liquid, whether it's water or wine, is going to evaporate as you continue to cook the onions. And see the bottom of the pan even continues to get a little brown. You can deglaze again if you need to. But these are looking pretty good. So we're going to set these aside, save them to top our burgers with, and cook our burgers in the same pan. All those yummy caramelized onion juices are just going to make the burgers taste better. All right, we're probably going to have to cook our burgers in batches here. We don't want to overcrowd the pan. We want some nice even browning on all the burgers. While the burgers are cooking, let's wash our lettuce. So I have this OXO salad spinner. I'm using a couple heads of leaf lettuce, which is a really nice kind of mix between crispy and tender. So I've got a couple heads of that and I just tear it into pieces and I put it into the bowl of my salad spinner. Now I know this might seem like a silly lesson to give, but I think it's kind of helpful to know like the best way to actually wash lettuce because it's something we use a lot. After I get that torn into pieces and put into the bowl of the salad spinner, I'm going to fill that up with cold water and then use my hand to sort of agitate the lettuce like one of those old washing machines. And as I do that, all the sediment, silt, and dirt from the lettuce is going to get stirred up and fall to the bottom of the bowl in the water. After it sits for a few minutes, then I can lift that lettuce out of the water and put it into the basket of the salad spinner. Dump out the rinse water, put it into the spinner, put the lid on, and give it a good spin. It's got a ton of water on it right now, so I always stop and empty out the bowl and do one more spin just to make sure the lettuce is nice and dry. If your lettuce is too wet, any kind of dressing isn't going to stick to it very well. So I give it a couple good spins and voila, we're done. Clean lettuce. Let's not forget our burgers. Those are just about done, and while they're finishing cooking, I'm going to come over and dice our tomatoes, cut up the avocado, and chop our pickle. All right, everything's ready. Let's build our salad. Leaf lettuce, some sliced pickles, diced tomatoes, avocado. Tear up some bacon. Can't forget our burger. Oh, this is going to be so good. Let's put a little bit of our caramelized onions on top. And on the side, we've got our delicious crispy sweet potato rounds. And to top it all off, special sauce. How good does this look? All right, guys, moment of truth. So good. The special sauce is amazing, brings it all together. Family friendly, easy, customizable. Make it more simple, make it more complex, however you like it. Enjoy. You can find the recipe on hypothyroidchef.com. Thanks for watching another episode of Thyroid Healthy Bites. I'm Ginny Mahar, wishing you the best of health. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See you next time.